coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey man, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Man, I appreciate the support. What's up? Let's go, let's get it, man. Big love, man, to all my subscribers, all my members, all my followers, all my family, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Let's go, man. Let's spread this message. Let's get it out there. Let's let these youngins know prison is not where you ever want to be in this lifetime or the next. You understand? And I was sitting here thinking to myself about dudes that did a lot of time, dudes that put in a lot of work, built up a reputation in prison, if for nothing else to stay alive, to stay safe, had to put that work in, and they end up getting out, and listen, if you leave prison, when you leave prison, if you are fortunate enough to leave prison after decades, understand that your reputation leaves with you. When you go out that door, so do your reputation. So do all the work you put in, all the respect you got, all the, the whatever you done created, the mystique, the aura around you, that goes out the door with you. It's gone. People gonna talk about you. They're gonna remember you in the prison from what you did when you was there, how thorough you was, or whatever the case may be. But if you come back, oh Lord, the mystique is gone. The reputation is gone. You come back from square one. You come back as a sucker. You come back as a nobody. You come back with a whole different aura about you, because you have had the opportunity to get out of a place that everybody in there want to get out of, and then you come back. You're no longer looked at as a thorough dude. You no longer looked at as solid or you. That's gone. And I noticed that, and I understood that, because I seen some gangsters, some thorough dudes, some dudes with some serious reputations leave prison and come back a couple of years later, and they not the same. They never the same. They never looked at the same. They never treated the same. You understand? And they can't. It costs too much to even try to get that reputation back. If you got any hopes or any thoughts about ever getting out again, you can't even go that route no more. You can't go that route no more. You can't, because it takes too much to even establish respect in the penitentiary. It takes too much violence to establish respect in the penitentiary. It takes too much sacrifice to establish respect in the penitentiary. And once they left and came back, the chances of them getting out, the chances of them making parole again is slim. So there is no mistakes allowed. So normally when a dude leave the penitentiary like that, with a thorough reputation, he come back soft. He come back weak. He come back humble. Because he trying any way he could think of to get that shot again, to get that light again, And some of them don't even got it. Some of them don't even have the opportunity to go back out there. So their whole demeanor is changed anyway. Case in point with Towns. Hercules' brother. When I first met Towns, as I've told y'all who've been around a while, Towns was considered a freak bammer, because he was, into all them boys or whatnot. But he also was considered dangerous by any stretch of the imagination. He had two brothers in the system that was known killers. He was a known, Beth pusher, known, head buster, cut up, quiet, sneaky, cunning, slick, you know, gamble, did drugs, mess with the boys, push the knife, fight the police. He did everything before I even got in the penitentiary. So this is what he was known for. He was known for that. You know, he was known. And when he did mess with the boys, if he had a falling out or the boys tried to get away from him or something, they couldn't just leave. They had to either check in or get hit up. This is facts. You know what I'm saying? And this is the way he was. Now, even when he had the situation with Chucky and there was a standoff and they had the disagreement, he still had that Bethlehem in his hand. He didn't use it, and Chuck was all up on him and pressing him and telling him to use it, but he didn't. It ain't like he checked in, ain't like he ran, ain't like he did nothing. He just didn't use it because I have told y'all before, killers don't really beef with killers in penitentiary because somebody gonna die. That's automatic. You know what I'm saying? If you're a killer and y'all go together and don't nobody die, then both of your reputation is gone. So killers avoid beefing with killers. You understand? So when people ask, well, why Bo Billy ain't never get into it with Sam Pitts? Because somebody gonna die. That's just plain and simple. That's the easiest way to put it. So killers avoid killers. You know? They avoid killers. Just like when you driving in the car, you try to avoid potholes. You know what I'm saying? Because you know when you hit one, it's going to be shaky. You did? So Towns had that reputation, regardless of what people thought about him. Wasn't nobody quick to jump on him. I don't recall in my doing time. I do recall people talking about him, you know, because of his lifestyle, saying this, that. I don't recall nobody putting hands on him. I do not recall nobody putting actual hands on Towns during the time I was around. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew what came behind that. Plus, you go to another camp, you might run into one of his brothers. You know what I'm saying? These is real brothers. These is blood brothers. You know what I'm saying? Who also in the system somewhere lurking. You know, Dennis and Hurt. You know, so you might run into one of them and you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to stand for whatever you did to him. So this is the reputation that he had. And after leaving penitentiary after decades and decades, and then ended up coming back with apparently what I heard, I don't know to be true, with a sentence that ain't gonna let him get out no more. He came back in with a whole different aura. He was older, way older. He was rumor was he was ill, sick. You know what I'm saying? He came back as a whole boy. A whole boy. He came back as a whole boy. This dude that when I first came in the system and I seen people feared, people he had a caution tape around him. You knew, hey, if I mess with him, this is going to be something. Ain't going to be nothing small. Ain't going to be no we got busted lip and all. No, it's going to be something major. So he had caution tape around him, man. And he come back, he a whole boy. Because he already knew. He couldn't even begin to put in the work he put in to get the reputation that he had. Because it would have cost him too much. You know what I'm saying? It would have cost him too much. And I don't even think he was physically capable of being that same guy no more. You understand? So, understand when you leave that penitentiary, your reputation leaves with you. It's gone. You know? Go back to my man, what's his name? Johnny Nelson. Johnny Nelson now. It's people in this chat like old boy that worked at Mecklenburg. You know what I'm saying? Dennis S. He'll tell you, man, Johnny Nelson was a god in the penitentiary for all intents and purposes. When I first got in there and I heard his name, that's how his name ring in the penitentiary. As something serious. Something not to be played with. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Something not to be played with. He's short as I don't know what, probably about 5'5", 5'6", but built like a truck. On the weightlifting team, big as I don't know what, cut up everywhere, lift weights, ran everything when I was around. Everything. On Mecklenburg, he ran everything. It won't no real money being made on Mecklenburg that Johnny ain't had his hands in. And he won't no big talker. He ain't gonna, hey, let me tell you, he ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? He gonna say what he mean and mean what he say, and he ain't gonna yell when he say it. And he gonna say, man, get my money. And he ain't gonna ask you no more. Straight up. And rumor is, or if you want to call it rumor, but he was in the wall when he first come in. He took life in that joint. Got time for it. You know what I'm saying? So when you lay somebody down in the penitentiary, the bar is understood. The death is on the table when you playing with this dude. He literally got a body in the penitentiary. You understand? So he is moving like he want to move and doing what he want to do. And he was a flat out hustler. He gonna get money with everything. He gonna get money with the parlay. He gonna send dudes out there to gamble. He gonna send dudes to run a poker game, a dice game, a skin game. He gonna go out there himself and gamble with chess. Very, very intelligent dude. You know what I'm saying? He gonna work in the kitchen and get people hired and fired. He gonna manipulate the administration. He pulled a whole female on the compound, made her quit her job, and started coming see him, and her husband worked there. This the type of dude he was. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to be played with. Everybody knew that. Like I said, from the time I got in the penitentiary, he was one of them names. Johnny Nelson, Johnny Nelson. You know what I'm saying? And when you see him, you will know. You can look at him and tell he wanted to be played with. Little short, like I say, stocky, muscular, big old long beard. Black guy with a long old beard. Had a full beard, but this part right here was long all the way down here. Dark skin, real dark skin. Look hard. Look like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of your mean uncles or something. You dig? This was his rap. This is the way people looked at him. This is what everybody knew. Man, don't play with Johnny. You owe Johnny some money. All you got to do is pay him. Anything other than that is uncivilized. There's going to be some problems. You know what I'm saying? If he don't bust your head open or put that thing in, he going to give somebody something to do it to you. Because he was smart. He knew if he did it, all the money, everything he got going on is going down the drain with him too. But he was a smart dude. He gonna put some money in somebody's hands that's gonna do with whatever he want done to you. It's some dudes in there that's gonna take sacrifices because they ain't going nowhere. They ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? He was a smart, manipulating type dude. But at the same time, he dangerous too. You know what I'm saying? It's like the dude that run a gang. The only reason the gang respect him because he done already put in some work. He done already showed what he about. You understand? So this is why people listen to him. Johnny was like one of them type dude. He was a boss. But he done also made his bones too. You understand? And he gonna get you hurt, man. And that was a known fact. If you play with him, if you owe him some money. And I'm telling you, almost everybody on the compound, if you was into borrowing or buying drugs or gambling debts, you owe Johnny one way or another. You know? So with that being said, and he did all that time, even taking somebody, you know what I'm saying, life in prison, and he still got freedom. Still ended up going to the street and couldn't survive out there. He couldn't survive out there. Went out there and crashed out, to what I understood. Went back to the old thing that brought him in the penitentiary. Robbing banks and, you know, armored cars and trying to pull big, outrageous capers and come back to the penitentiary. Now, after you done took life in the penitentiary, you done did this, that, and the third in the penitentiary, and you still get out and you come back, the chances of you getting back out is slim to none. Slim to none. You know, and I think he knew that. And he came back in a whole different joker. Now, everything that I just said, now he come back, he pro-administration. Same man used to fight the police, stab the police. Now he working for the administration. Now he using his brain to try to manipulate the administration, you know, into that he a nice guy, that he a good guy. You know what I'm saying? And he working with them. So now you a bootlicker. Now you a Uncle Tom. Now you a tap dancer. Now you a Jeffro Bodine. Now you looked at as a state-struck Bama. This is the same dude that struck fear in dudes. But now he looking at, and you look at who is that? Just the Johnny Nuts. People who had never knew him or just heard about him would look at him, the way he was moving, new in the penitentiary since he came back. You wouldn't even, man, they ain't nowhere in the world y'all was talking about this dude. I ran back into him and I didn't even, I'm looking at the guy that I know that I done did time with, and the things that's coming out of his mouth and the moves that he making, wouldn't have never done nothing like that. Man, they gave Johnny a whole office. He got keys. He got keys to a whole office like a counselor. You understand? They letting him out when we on lockdown. They got him out there buffing the floors, passing out trays when the whole compound on lockdown. Dudes get locked up. They let Johnny go in there and pack up dudes' sales, pack up dudes' property. I'm like, man, what the hell? All things he know to go against the code, to go against the ethics of being a convict. He doing it now, which he would have killed or hurt or had you killed or hurt for doing. That was all things he was opposed of. But now his back is against the wall. He older. He in his 60s or something. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't really got no more shots at the free world again. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I say, dudes is looking at him now like, man, you got to be crazy to come back to penitentiary with all the things you did, man. The respect is gone. So now he got to find a whole nother lane just to survive. You know what I'm saying? Just to survive. And once your reputation is going in the penitentiary, anybody will try you. Anybody. I done heard dudes calling them, man, you old Uncle Tom, old bootlicker, old. Man, you would have said that to Johnny Nelson. You would have said that to Johnny Nelson in the 80s, in the 90s. Straight up. You wouldn't have said it but one time. But this is where he at now. See what I'm saying? When you leave that penitentiary, your reputation leaves with you. The work you put in, the respect, the honor is gone. You got to come back in a whole different person. And most of them, when they come back a whole different person, they know the fight was too hard to get where they was, and they go a whole nother route. Towns come back as a boy. Johnny come back as a bootlicker. Man, I was man. But the fact is, they came back. Dudes is not respecting that because everybody in there trying to get out. So when you come back, you automatically coming back with disrespect. Nobody got no respect for you. You couldn't even stay out there. We all trying to get out there. Then you ain't gonna have the same respect. And I done seen it over and over again over the years. Even dudes that didn't even have big reputation, but just was known for, just being in the penitentiary. They might not have been a thorough dude, but they want a sucker. They, you know what I'm saying? They want a boy. They want you know what I'm saying? Want nobody extorting them. You know what I'm saying? And you leave and you come back, man, ain't nobody got no respect for you. None. You got to switch your whole game plan up, or you got to come in there and become a killer. And becoming a killer in the penitentiary, becoming a gorilla in the penitentiary, comes with a price. You got to sacrifice years out of your life in the hole, fighting administration, getting more charges, going through. That's a hard road right there. That's a hard road to hoe. You dig? That, and dudes ain't coming in there doing that. They ain't coming back in the penitentiary doing that. Because first and foremost, if you've been in there for a minute and you come back, you even older. You ain't even got that type of energy. You ain't got that type of drive, that type of focus. You know what I'm saying? That type of, survival that you want to go out there and say it's kill or be killed. Because you might get killed. You understand? You got more, value on your life now because you're older. You understand? When you coming in there, you young, it's survival of the fittest. Straight up. And then you got all these new young dudes in the penitentiary. They don't know nothing about you. They just see an old face and an old name. They don't care nothing about that. Zero. They ain't won't there when you shed blood, left blood on the floor. They won't there when you was fighting the police. They won't there when you was standing up for this, that, and that. They don't know nothing about that. They don't care nothing about that. They see an old dude in there, this Jeffrey, this Uncle Tom, and this tap dancer, this working for the administration. Man, ain't nobody respecting that. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I remember the dude I told y'all about. I spoke about him one time that when me and Dixon was down in the salad port, you know what I'm saying, working in the salad port, and the dude came back in, the boy, going in the joint and called me and Dixon by name. We looking at him like, hey, yeah, you know us from. That was a whole Negro back in the day. So That was a whole Negro back in the day. Now he done been on the streets for years and years and got locked back up and got forever time. Then he come back in a whole boy. This is how he gonna do the rest of his bit. This is what he done decided in his mind. This is the best and the safest route for him. Is to go dress up like a woman and eat up penises. It's mind-boggling, man. To survive in the penitentiary, man, is a hell of a journey, man. And for you to get through that, just to get to the other side and come back, it's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be. It may even be worse, because now you know what the playing field is. You know what's going on, and the penitentiary don't stop when you gone. New killers come in the penitentiary. New reputations have been made. New rules have been implemented. There's new players in the game, and you late in the game. You understand? So it's the survival gonna be even harder. It's gonna be even harder. You know what I'm saying? Because now you playing catch up. When first you left, you was a leader. But when you a leader and you come back to the penitentiary, you playing catch up. Penitentiary don't stop. It does not stop. It's every day total chaos and madness and violence. And that increases in the things that you knew that was going on before you left. Now is going on a different way. The rules you knew now are switched up. The killers you knew is new faces on these killers. The danger you knew is different danger now. So you lost in the sauce, but you just like a person that just coming in that don't know nothing. Don't know nothing. You might run into some old faces that you know that ain't never left, but they ain't even respecting you no more. They ain't even looking at you the same no more. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even looking at you the same no more. So you right back from square one. You on your own. You on your own, bro. And starting off in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? You coming back into the game in the fourth quarter. So it's different, man. It's wicked. It's real wicked, man. It's real wicked. I don't even see my time moving on here. I hope this thing is still recording. What in the sheezy is going on? Man, I hope this joint is still recording. But yeah, what I'm trying to tell y'all, man, is different, man. It's a whole different ball game when you leave that penitentiary. Your reputation is leaving out of that penitentiary with you. It is not coming back with you. Your reputation leaves the penitentiary with you. It don't come back with you, So if you get a chance to get on the street, to get free, to get that freedom, man, you better cherish it. If you already out here and you got freedom, maybe you've never seen incarceration, you better do your best never to see it, brother. Cause it's a whole nother side of the world that you don't never want to be a part of. And ain't nothing over there nice, ain't nothing over there easy. Please believe that. Anybody tell you different, they probably clinically insane and need to be tested. But yeah, man, so stay free, man. That's the bottom line. I'm gonna end this video because I don't even know if it's recording or not. But in any event, man, y'all be safe, be smart, man. Make good decisions, man. Stay free, man. We out here, man. TBP Nation, stand up, be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. We gone. Boom.
The banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.